Yo, 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 what's good, my people? What's good, my people? It's your boy Jason Gooner. We're back in the building again for another live top video for you. You know how we do it on the channel, people. We're gonna break down the game, full analysis, full breakdowns, football centered. We have the full conversation interactively with the chat. We have the tactical pod ready to go. We're going to show you guys what is the keys to the victory versus Honduras tomorrow night. Of course, it's in the National Stadium, people, Kingston, Jamaica, 8 o'clock local time, 9 o'clock for me, 6 o'clock if you live California. I find out this morning if you live at Brisbane, Australia, the game forward on 11 in the morning on Tuesday. Zine. So we have all places covered. Yes, people. So we're excited. We know that we're gonna give you guys a picture of what's going on right now. You know where we are in the table, currently sitting atop the table, but we have a lot of metrics to look at in terms of who we're going to play if we get through. So we're going to discuss all of that tonight on the program. We had the press conference today in Jamaica, so we're going to start the program by listening to that. Then we dive right into the tactical portion of the show where we look at Honduras most recent games. I had a chance to rewatch the Jamaica versus Honduras game in Honduras. I watched the Honduras versus French Guyana game as well, so I have a good idea about what's going on with the Honduras team. And basically, there's some things that I found out watching that French Guyana game that should be some decent news for Jamaica as far as omissions from their team. All right, so we're gonna get you up to speed with all of that news. And yeah, man, it should be a great show, very informative. And yeah, we're really, really thankful for the support we've been receiving lately. A lot of good views on the videos, so I know you guys are enjoying the content. You know, every time we do a live show of this nature, the goal is 100 likes, so you know you have to hit that like button as soon as you enter the building. Hopefully you have your bell notifications turned on if you are subscribed to the channel. We still have a lot of viewership not subscribing, so you guys just consider subscribing to the channel. You keep coming back to watch the content, you might as well become a subscriber, people. It makes perfect sense. All right, up top energy, wagwan, big up yourself. Yeah, man, loyal supporter always in the building. We are chop up the business. Yes. Big deal, Len. Have a name already, but him say namesake. So I don't know if there's another Len in the chat, but yeah, him a big you up, whoever else name Len. All right, maybe energy name Len. Big up yourself, Eagle Republic, wagwan. Yeah, man, we outside. You know the thing, go, man. Match day tomorrow, so yeah, we have to give you guys the full updates of what's going on. So yeah, as I said, people, today was a press conference in the, I believe it was at the JFF offices. And you had Damari Gray, Coach McLaren, and of course, press officer for the Reggae Boys, Simon Preston. So yeah, man, big deal. I did with laugh. Somebody else named Lennon in a building, bro. Man say namesake. Namesake soon drop in. Yeah, man. So yeah, let's just do this first and foremost, people. I want to take in the press conference with you guys. Just go through it, see if there's anything to discuss from it. Energy saying I jumped the gun. Him said 3-1 Jamaica. All right. Yes. You know my style, you know. I give my predictions when time the match team forward out, you know. But yo, on the do in the chat, man. 3-1 energy say from early, I drop the energy. 3-1 Jamaica. Drop the Jamaica flag them same way, energy. Up in a tie. What go on? Yeah, man, we're there. All right, so I'm gonna find this audio. I'm gonna get the audio clipping and cause the video portion, some of the audio in the beginning was cut out. So I'm gonna play the audio portion since we're not gonna show it on the screen anyway. So yeah, I could take the scene, people, as the place are full up. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You see the reminder upon the I don't even know what to call it. On the lower side of the screen, you see the reminder, like, share, and subscribe to JGTV TV. All right, people, listen up. This is the press conference.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We appreciate you being here this afternoon. It's the pre-match press conference with Jamaica against Honduras, the CONCACAF Nations League at the National Stadium. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And the other matches in our group will take place simultaneously. Cuba against Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua against French Guyana. All games 8 o'clock Jamaica time tomorrow. Before we open the floor for questions, let me introduce those that we have at our head table. To my immediate right, head coach of Jamaica's senior men's national team, Coach Steve McLaren, and to his right, Demarai Gray. Before we open for questions, I just wanted to point out from Demarai Gray's standpoint, his home debut was a year ago against the same opposition that we'll have tomorrow. So just a few remarks from Dimmy in relation to 1 year since his home debut and about 18 months as an international for Jamaica. Just your reactions to that, Dimmy, and settling into the national setup right now. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's gone quickly, very quickly. But since I joined the national team, the Gold Cup up until now, been nothing but joy. I've enjoyed it very much. Had some good moments, and one thing I'd say is a big standout is just progress and development that is constantly happening, and we've had lots of change throughout my time. It's all been positive change, and like I said, I'm happy to be a part of this group, and obviously focused on this competition in tomorrow's game, but I'm looking very much forward to the future as well, because I think the future is very, very bright.
Thanks very much, Dimmy. So now we can be able to open the floor for questions. Please raise your hand, indicate, and let us know if your question is towards Coach McLaren or to Demarai Gray. So who would like to begin this afternoon? All right, do you want to kick us off?
All right, Division TV. Coach, you played Nicaragua, good game. What were some of the differences you'd see playing against Nicaragua and Honduras?
One we played on artificial surface, which was so different. We really enjoyed the trip in the end to Honduras. Good facilities, nice field to play on, and a very tough opponent. Was not easy, but the resilience the players showed on that night was tremendous. To go goal up, concede a minute later, but then to get the winning goal and then to defend for our lives to get the 3 points. It was, I would say there was quite a bit of pressure on the players and the staff and management at that time to win the game, and we did. But we know how tough it is against Honduras, so tomorrow's game will not be easy.
Follow up to that, Eddie?
Question for David.
Yeah.
New coach, you guys seem to be adapting well to the tactics and so on, but what were some of the major differences between Coach Mark and the previous coach?
I think every coach has their different ways and styles, and us as players, we don't select our coach, so we almost have to adapt to whatever coach we have and the environment that's created. But since coaches come in now, I think the main and one of the most important things is just having a positive environment, and having that relationship with all the staff. And it's also a culture change for the coach as well, and I think the coach has adapted very well. All the boys are on side, all the boys are happy, and like I said, I enjoy coming to these camps because it's a great place to be, great environment to be, and you're representing your country. So that's the off the pitch stuff. I think the on field stuff is it's nothing too complicated. It's just the basic things and being disciplined in our shape. And we have a lot of creative players in the team to make the difference up top. So once you build a good core and foundation, and the way the coach wants us to play and the style he wants to implement, it's you feel quite free when you're playing. And so far we've been successful. And as you said, tomorrow's going to be a difficult game, and we're a very confident group. And I think tomorrow we can get the points as long as we do things properly.
Good afternoon, Coach. Here from Knocking TV, Jordan Woodfine. They made a brave decision on including Terry Magee back into the squad. I want to know what you think of his performance last match, and should we look on any other players that they're going to reintroduce back into the fold?
We're always looking, we're always searching. And as I say, it's only our second camp. The first one was, more or less, we picked the same squad that was for Copa. And then we've in the meantime, we've had a look around. We're searching the world for good players. Quite a few playing in the US and MLS, but USL. So we had a look at that. We've got Meron, who knows every player for the last 10 years, youth players coming through. So that's a help. And maybe we're looking for a different type of player. And like we said, all the players who come into the squad, you've got a great opportunity. The key thing is that they stay in the room. That means they train well, perform well when called upon, play well, be successful, keep fit, keep playing well for their club, and you'll get an opportunity. So I'm delighted the way that it's gone. Believe you me, we're still miles away from where it should be and what I want it to be. Where it should be and what I want it to be. But I think, as Timmy said, the understanding of the players has been tremendous. The spirit is the resilience. You can see it on the field. They have bad spells, but they get through it with fight and spirit. And then they've got the quality, I think. Why we won in Honduras, why we won in Nicaragua was...
Sorry, people.
Why we won in Nicaragua was, we defended one box really well, and the other box we had quality to score.
All right, coach. One more question before I leave. There's local, we're not going to keep local camps in Jamaica, a lot of local camps for the national team. Will you be implementing any local camp during your time here?
Domestic-based players. Having camps with the domestic-based players.
Yeah, been to I think 2 or 3 games already. Cavaliers and Mount Pleasant, and already we picked Adrian Reed from Cavaliers in the first camp. In this camp, Anguilin comes in. I watched him. I liked him, so he's got an opportunity to maybe shine. And I want to look at the league, and maybe there are players in the league who have been overlooked or who have played previously and not really got a look in. That I'm open to everything. I'm planning for World Cup 26 qualification in just under a 12 months time. So I want to get the best squad together, the best balance together, and to keep the spirit which is already there. You've seen the additions we've had. Mason Holgate, we got his clearance through in the last minutes on Thursday, and a good job, because he came on and did a great job. Lati was struggling, and he just slotted in, came in, showed his experience, and we may need him again tomorrow.
Daniel?
So a while ago, he get asked some questions. He was asked about Tyreek McGee. Never really answer about Tyreek McGee. He was asked about local camps. He never really answer about the local camps, which I thought was kind of funny. But I think he was asking Simon like what he actually said. So I don't know if he even heard exactly what he was asking. I'm gonna just go with that because he didn't answer that question just now. But let's keep playing it.
Hi, for Coach and Dimi, in the last international window, it was a pleasant surprise to see that many supporters at the stadium. When you think about the atmosphere in Honduras and Nicaragua, I know it's sometimes a cliche, but how important is the sort of the 12th man to have that type of support and atmosphere to sort of boost the team?
I think it's very important. If I like going to them countries and playing away, because I like the hostile feeling about it. It kind of gives me a bit of a boost as well. But I think the stature of Jamaica itself, and I've said it before, I think just the Jamaican culture all over the world is very popular. And like I said, it's an honour to represent the country and play. But like I said, it's always something I'm always looking forward to is the stadium being full and sell out one day. And that's for many of us, So having that atmosphere and 12th man, if you want to call it that, behind you is it's massively important. And I've played football long enough to know how much it can intimidate teams as well. And I think with the quality we have in the team, a lot of teams are intimidated already. So with the fans backing and support, it's just an extra bonus for us.
One of our goals, the vision that I have especially, is to fill the stadium, to have a full house, and it to be what we call rocking, because with the music and everything going on around the game, it's very different from Nicaragua, it's very different from Honduras, but just as intimidating. And I think it's not about intimidation, it's about uplifting the home players. That's what a home advantage is, to lift you above the opponent, to give you extra 10-20% to deliver the result. So we need the fans. We were talking about it earlier. The worst thing is, in COVID, no fans, killed the game. Fans came back, reignites the game, and that's what we want the supporters to do tomorrow.
Yeah, and just one more. In terms of, you obviously go in every game to win, knowing the position in the table. Does that affect your approach in a sense compared to when we were first here against Cuba and it felt like, we had to get that goal and get that 3 points?
No, we've told the team, look, we started with a disappointing draw. We should win. But we've put ourselves in a position to finish top of the group. So finish the job. That's what we say. So like the last 5 minutes, you're 1-0 up, 2-1 up. Finish the job. That's the message to the players. And to finish the job, we need to win the game. That's, for me, the most important. You play at home. You're playing in front of supporters. So you're playing for them. You're playing, and not to entertain, but to perform standards, have a good game, win. And as I say, finish the job. I'll keep repeating that.
This coach just want to find out basically the experience playing against this Honduras team before what you expect from them come tomorrow. And just give me an idea how you plan to deal with the Honduras trip.
Yeah, I think I'd be interested in his opinion on what it was like to play against them. Wasn't very comfortable on the bench, I know that.
No, it's obviously my first game here was against them, and I think the last camp we played them, it was very difficult. They have a lot of quality, and they're quite free in the way they play. They're not a team where you can say, okay, they do this and they do that. They're quite free and they change a bit, and they're a physical team. So I think, as a team, we're well aware of the threats they have, and that's for us to, control that and maintain it. But like I said, we're aware, but we focus on what we need to do best, and I think as long as we do that, we should win the game.
I'm looking at a year ago, and when I got the job with Jamaica, that's the first game I looked at was the Honduras game. Wasn't a very good game, I didn't think. And there was one bit of quality in the game. And we're looking for the same tomorrow.
Bless up, Floyd.
Not as hot as when it just came into the team. Still playing consistently well, though. I think you'll be able to get back in that form. I think they're in the reason why there has been a small dip, not a major bit of small dip in their form.
Yeah, I think for all attackers, especially wingers, it does get like that. You have a bit great patches and patches where you haven't scored as much, and I think it's just being resilient and trying to find that form again. And every time I get the opportunity to play, especially here, is to do what I know I can do. I've showed my quality numerous times, and my job is to create goals and score goals, and I go out every game with that mentality. And if I don't, even if we win, I still have that inner disappointment, because it's about improving every time. But my job is to help the team, and I'm always looking to play at my highest level, and just help the team. And I'm pretty sure, let's say tomorrow, I'll bring the form back.
One more for you, coach. passing game has been coming along well. Even in the away game, we have seen it. Can we expect to see a full dominant performance tomorrow against this Honduras? It's very difficult because I count the amount of sessions that we've had and the information that we're giving to the players. Credit that the team is where they are at the moment. I think the first message from day one was be brave, take the ball and deal with the ball. And that is still the message now. And that's what I've been impressed with. We make mistakes. We have errors. We don't do it very well sometimes, but we're growing. We're not there yet. Honestly, we're miles away. But I'm pleased with the progress that it's made. We're trying to keep it simple, but also try to build something which I think the quality of the team and the squad, they can go to the next level. And at the moment, that's what we're hoping for. We're not dominant. We're not that comfortable at the present moment. But the key thing is we're working hard. So in possession, out of possession, if we want to press, counter press, the team is behind that and working towards that. Satisfied, but can do better.
One last one, coach.
Yeah, so just want to stop it there and just talk a little bit about what's going on. So basically, just now he was saying, boy, yes, the improvements have been there to see, they're clear to see, but he feels like we're still a long way off of what he would deem to be where he would want us to be. I think that's something that's good to hear, that the fan base should hear, because I think, maybe because the brand of football under the previous coach wasn't the most, the nicest to look at. Let's just say that. The football from this current coach, I think, is a lot more possession driven. I think that the players have a lot more freedom. I think Damari expressed that as well in his answer earlier in the press conference. So, I think it's important that we know that there are going to be hiccups along the way. We are taking more risks in possession, and we have seen the trip to Honduras, not so much the game against Cuba or the game against Nicaragua, but definitely against an opponent like Honduras, where I think their press is a little more organized than the other two teams we've played in the group. That's where the mistakes kind of showed up a bit more. I know Pinnock had a big one the last game. I know Latibo there kind of was on the ball a bit too long, almost turned into an opportunity for them. So we have to be mindful that, yes, the nicer style of play that we're wanting and we're seeing, it does lend itself to putting yourself in more risky situations. So we have to have patience where that is concerned. I do think that if you stick to it, though, and you go through those repetitions, those plays that are kind of like, your heart is in your hand sometimes when you see them trying to play out of certain situations. But I think the more they do that, the more they will get comfortable in doing so. And a lot of times when you play through that tougher pressure, when it get released from that area where you were being, pressed, usually there's some space wherever the ball gets free to. So, it's a risk reward thing, and we have to know that, sometimes with the great risk come the great reward, and you have to have the heart for that, because it's going to mean there's going to be some moments where you're a little bit worried about where they're passing the ball.
How many questions you read? Because I came in late, from the start.
And so how much question you want?
You will see tomorrow.
He asks him who I'm going to start tomorrow. And man say you'll see. Oh, I'm saying he asks him if Tyreek going to start tomorrow. I'm saying you'll see tomorrow. So yeah, the coach cannot give you guys the lineup in the pre-match, people. So why?
Timo, Yes, Ed. Go ahead.
Coach, you've given Mesa Bolgate his debut for Jamaica. But where do you see him playing in the future? Centre back, right back, or as a six?
What a good question. I've seen him play right back. I've seen him play centre back. I've seen him play midfield. And I think in a squad, when we talk about balance, you have specialists. Right wing, left wing, he's a specialist. He's one-on-one. He creates, he scores. that's what he's got to do. And you have others like we have Lati at the present moment, not playing centre back. I've seen him playing centre back for his club, right back for his club, and number 6 is playing number 6 for us and doing a great job. So players, some have to be adaptable, gives them an advantage, and some have to be specialists, but then they have to deliver.
My thought to Dimmy there, so deliver.
My questions are to President Dimmy. I might have a question before. First, Demari, coach, congratulations on well-deserved 3 points in Central America. Always, don't know if you were aware of how notoriously hard it is for Jamaica to win on Central American soil. But for Demari, the first question is, for you and the other players who are new to the team, how was the environment and playing in that hostile environment of Nicaragua? How was it for you? And what did the team build on in the second half to keep you together and keep you going? We saw the missiles coming in. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know why. For some reason, I love atmospheres where it's a bit hostile and you get crowd are against you. You might get a bit of abuse and stuff. I kind of thrive off it. It gives me, you want to show them what's what. But I think we've got a good balance in the team. Young and more experienced, and I think with that balance, if things get difficult, I'm probably saying every game we play, we have periods where we might be under a lot of pressure and we're defending our box. And as coach said, we've done it well. People put their body on the line. So I think the balance in the team helps a lot, and having that experience in the team. So I think that's a big positive for us, because I think it's it's very easy to go under in the moments, but so far we've kept the ball out the net and put our bodies on the line. And I think when we play the types of teams we play, that's always going to be required. So it's kind of a basic for us, and it's how things will be.
And the second question is our home game coming up tomorrow. And if you are aware, both Coach and Demi, Simon knows for sure, that in 1997, 96 coming up to 98, we had a 50-game undefeated in what we call this the office. Last year, you're aware of it. Coach, are you and the boys and the players ready to continue to build on that so that we get to another 50 or 100 games undefeated?
Up, Chris.
And get this back to be the office. And at the same time, as I end my question, call out to the fans to fill the stadium up as we used to, as we play our role as the 12th man. Tell us about the unbeaten.
DJ Gigs, Brando up.
The feelings of it.
That's right. It's difficult to do that again. It's very difficult at this level. And you're right. The office, we always say home stadium. It's our home. Nobody comes in here and takes our home away. Same with the office. So we have to put a run together. I don't know the record of home games.
49 games.
At the moment.
Oh, right now, at home, 3 unbeaten at home.
3 unbeaten at home. So we've a long way to go before we get to 49-50. For me, to win the next one is the most important.
Yes, like what Cole said, it's a long distance to get to that number, but
Bless up our Chile.
But we can only look at game after game, because each game is very difficult, and I think the more we progress, the more difficult the opponent. So there's always going to be a challenge here, but as Coach said, this is our home regardless, and anytime we play, especially here, the job is always to win. So if we get there, it'll be amazing.
If I can speak on it, Joshua and Hanley has been added to the squad. Could you tell us, Coach, what you have seen in that player, based in the domestic JPL League for Mount Pleasant? What have you seen in Joshua and Hanley that
I watched a couple of games before the camp. Cavaliers, and against Arna Gardens, and then I nipped over to see the second half of Mount Pleasant, and he really impressed me. I think he's the number 6. You have to be able to deal with the ball, and that's what I saw. He could deal with the ball. He's quite aggressive as well. So I remember saying to Maron, I like this player, and we had an opportunity with Damien Lowe being suspended that we could bring one in, and I said to him, look, this is your opportunity. And you've got a couple of days training, and you're on the bench. Who knows? We might need you, so be ready and impact. So as I said, the squad is not closed. It's not for definite. There are opportunities for local players, and what I've seen already in the games, there's some quality. There's some quality, and there's some quality also in the US, in the UK, and around the world. Playing in Turkey, played in Norway. We found Norman Campbell. So we're always searching, because I think with that vision of 2026, we're building towards a good squad. So already Mason Holgate from the UK, and Norman Campbell, to name a few. We've had a few coming in.
All right, Garfield.
Coach, what's the injury status of the squad coming off playing on that artificial surface? I know it may be rough on the ankles and the knees of some of the players. I saw some wrapped up in ice after the game. What's the status of the players going into the game tomorrow?
Yeah, we got a reaction from.
I was waiting for that question. If I was in there, that's what I would have asked about the fitness of the players. Is Antonio and Palma fit now in terms of seeing them in street clothes in Nicaragua? What's the status of all the players? That would have been my question. So whoever asked that, thank you.
Antonio, just in training. We got a reaction from a few players, so we have some limping about, ice on the shins, back sore, but the medical team have done a great job. Rubbed them to death. Got the stiffness out, I hope, and we should have a fit squad to pick from.
In terms of the team that was selected for the game on Thursday, I know you may have selected some based on the surface that we're playing on. Do we go back to the team that you originally had in mind come tomorrow now that we're back?
I got to say that was the team I had in mind. Doesn't matter the surface, they were the team that I definitely had in mind. With Mikel dropping out was different, and substitutions, but that was the team I thought. That's the team to start, and I have one for tomorrow, and you'll find out tomorrow.
Any other questions?
Man, say another one. So I want to ask you guys, why, Duke? Why? I want to ask you guys something. He was asked a while ago, based on the team you selected in Nicaragua, which could have been due to the turf. Do you believe him when he says that the team that he played was the team he had in mind? He mentioned Antonio, but he didn't mention Palma, who I know probably was held back due to the turf situation and him not being, maybe close to what could be considered a little niggling injury. So I think they just kept him out for precaution. Do you believe him, though, that that's the starting 11 he had in mind if everybody was available? Because I kind of don't, I kind of don't. Brenda said, I think so, given the injuries. Yeah, I mean, he did mention Antonio. So I guess he was just telling you that's really the only one he had differently in his mind. So it probably would have been Antonio for Williams if Antonio could have gotten through the training and everything. Which might actually be a good thing it worked out that way, because if Antonio played on that pitch, more than likely he would need longer to recover and maybe wouldn't be ready for this game. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Chris said Palma and Antonio would be in. I agree. He didn't mention Palma just now, but I think Palma would have played. There was one mystery question that was never asked. Enlighten us, Eagle. Let us know. What's that mystery question?
haven't seen much of Kyle Dixon since, and he was one of our brightest. Kyle Dixon. Yeah. You haven't seen much of him since you have taken over. He was one of the brightest spark prior to you coming in. Any thoughts on Kyle Dixon? I haven't seen much of him.
No, I love Kyle. And the best thing he did was to go to the UK. It's a good club, Charlton. I know it well. And he had a funny summer. I think he didn't train. He was involved in Copa, and then had the rest. And then everything, and then Charlton, the move. That took a while to get a visa, so he's not training with a group. So I don't think he trained with the group until 2 days before the start of the season. He's not played many games. He has to settle down in his environment, which is difficult. But I love Kai. He will develop and grow. So whereas the progress was like that, it's plateaued. But his next stage will be good. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Any other further questions? David?
Coach, King from Gooner TV. Sorry to ask you a personal question about an individual player, but are you surprised at the quality of Tariq McGee and seeing him playing him on the right? Where do you see him playing going forward? Where is his best position in your opinion?
Yeah, he didn't do bad on the right. It was okay. He's a player who, same, like they're a specialist player. They win your football matches, and we expect him to win the football match tomorrow. And Tyreek's another one, so they're special. And that's what I saw from Tyreek, from the clips when I first saw him. He could deal with the ball, handle the ball, he was creative, he kept it. The three things I said right at the beginning of the interview, that's the kind of player that we're looking for. Handle the ball, deal with the ball, want the ball, and brave to do it in hostile atmospheres. So, it was. He came out with a big plus.
Any other questions? Our members of the media, as per CONCACAF regulate.
All right, so that is the full press conference from today, people. So, what do you guys think? Was there a theme to the questions of the press conference? I think we heard Tariq McGee asked about a few different ways. What else? Yeah, King. So yeah, David in Jamaica for the game. That's good. I know him don't live in Jamaica, so that's good. He went down for the game. Yeah, man. Big up, determined. You don't know determined. We are break down the tactics and thing before the game tomorrow. Did a little research before tonight. I was gonna do the show a little earlier, but had some things I had to do earlier today, which kind of took some of my research time away. So I had to push back the show a little bit more because I wanted to watch back the Jamaica-Honduras game one more time, just to kind of be prepared, get prepared for the show, and also do a little research on the Honduras side of things, how they're feeling going into this game. So that's why we showed up a little later. But we're there, and we're going to give you some quality content for a good little while longer, all right? So basically, that was the press conference. I mean, look, nothing crazy to report. Some of the questions could have really been kept in the people and brain. Some good questions, though. Like I said, I would have asked about the injury situation and if he has a full complement of players available to select, which he was asked that and said everybody should be good to go. So that is good. The boss, big up McGee. Yes, Craig Taylor. Sound like everybody in the press conference today want to hear about McGee. So I think looking forward to this predicted 11 and this tactical pad that I'll bring up on the screen after we talk about Honduras a bit. I think that's going to be the crucial thing, people. What is he really going to do? I think we can all agree that more than likely Antonio, fully fit, takes the spot of Williams up front, but there's going to be some conversations to be had. We know that Damian Lowe is out suspended, so he will not be able to partner Pinnock on the back line. We have Tavon Gray, who had a decent game in Nicaragua, but we do know also that Dexter Lembikisa has been the starter before. So how does the coach play with that situation there? Greg Lee probably names himself as long as he's fit. Don't see John Bell starting over him against Honduras in this game. I think Latibo there, well, honestly, with Low being down in central defense, does that mean Latibo there moves from midfield, goes to defense? So that will be I think those will be the situations that we need to figure out. Casey Palma was in street clothes in Nicaragua, probably will be available for selection for this game. Does he play deeper in the midfield, take Anderson's spot? Does he play over McGee, play more central, and that puts Bobby Reed back to the right-hand side where McGee was playing? A lot of questions to be asked. So we're going to try to figure out and try to predict what the coach will do. But I think those will be the most interesting storylines to watch going into this game and when the lineup forwards. The angling question and injury update was good. Okay, so you get 2 questions out of the must have 20 odd were asked. You give those 2 some positive grades. Yeah. What he had seen in him was a good question. At this point, though, I don't know if that question is even bothered to be asked because we know he's gonna say either he saw a few games or he saw the Caribbean Cup, because it seems like those are the games he watched, or Meran spoke to him or he asked Meran. So, and that was a part of his answer. So I don't know if you really need to ask those questions. I mean, I guess just to hear him say it again, you know, but that's why I wouldn't include the angling question as one that was so, you know. I mean, it's the same story. We heard the story before with every other player that joins the team after the fact. You know, he talked to Meran, and, you know, out of that comes this player. Lati needs more yellow cards. Jano Star. You're wicked, bro. File this away for the future. Once Mason Greenwood is introduced in Jamaica, there will be fake outrage by the traditional Jamaica media. If you notice, no one asked about Jashan angling. Okay. Yeah, so if you don't know what Eagle is referring to, Jashan Anglin, I would say, had a similar situation to Mason Greenwood, you know, accusations and whatnot. So, yeah, that's what he's referring to, people. Big up DNA Football, Wagwan. Yeah, man, enjoy the show. The part that I could see today, enjoy the show, and thanks for putting out that content today. Everybody, if you don't know, DNA Football has a channel as well. So go and give him a strength, subscribe to his channel, and follow his content. All right, McGee fans need to manage expectations. So much pressure on a USL player. Yeah, determine. I mean, I think it's something that, and we don't learn from our mistakes. We do this with every single player that does anything half decent in a game. You know, suddenly they're the saviors of the team. You know what I mean? So yeah. Cataract asked the coach if he plans to build 50-game winning streak. Did he think the coach would say no? But if the coach was honest, he would say, well, I don't believe that I'll be able to be presiding over that many games here because I'm going to coach until 2026, and then that's it. I would start Gray over Dexter due to match fitness. Lati and Pinnock at CB, Holgate at CDM, and give Antonio 60 minutes. All right, so energy drop. What he would do in regards to all those questions I was asking. Start Gray. Okay, start Tavan over Dexter. Okay, match fitness. Lati and Pinnock at CB, and slide Holgate into the CDM. Okay, cool. So put Lati back in the CB role. Okay. And give Antonio 60 minutes. Big up, bro. Respect. Yeah, man. Every time, bro. Every time. Now I wonder if the selection of Anglin was way deeper. I thought, was he setting his where's the Duke? It's a play by the JFF to gauge backlash against those accused of things that they shouldn't be doing. Okay. Is that what do you call it now? Not a litmus test. I don't know. But yeah, them a test it out. Them a test the waters. Fans will be fans, McGee. Yeah, that is true. Coach. That is true. Everybody gonna have them people that them want to exalt and say them are the greatest. But as determined, say all it do is heat pressure upon the people them star. But I guess pressure is as part of sports, so you have to live with it. By the way, can you look at the point standings? We need to win, period. We cannot go sleep at the wheel. Yeah, man, we're gonna go through that. We're gonna go through all of that, man. A litmus test. Okay, yeah. So I was on the right track. We need a statement win tomorrow. That would be nice, energy. I mean, with the record against Honduras lately looking good as well. All right, people. So let's dive into the all right, let me make sure I'm gonna use my words proper because the Y boss is here. Let's dive into the statistics. The statistics, is that okay to say, of the Honduras and Jamaica matchup? And also take a look at the standings as well. So let's get this up on screen. All right, so this is the League A Group B standings. Let me look at this. All right, so I want to just actually no, we're going to leave it like that. No, we're going to leave it like this. Yeah. All right, so Jamaica on top of Group B with 7 points, plus 3 goal difference, 4 goals scored, 1 conceded. Honduras 6 points, 8 goals for, 4 conceded. So slightly better goal difference at 4. But we do know that a draw, of course, will keep us ahead of them by the point. And a draw also would secure first place in the group, as the only team that could catch us, Nicaragua, is on 4. Even if they win, they'll go to 7. And then it will be a goal difference battle between them and Honduras. Of course, they are -1 right now, so they'll have quite a bit to make up to pass Honduras if they were to draw. And of course, they know if Jamaica beats Honduras and they can beat French Guyana at home, they would be advancing in second place out of the group. And Honduras, for a second straight year, would miss out on the quarterfinals of this Nations League competition. Cuba in 4th on 3 points, still with an outside shot to get that second spot, but they would need a lot of things to happen. French Guyana and Trinidad, I mean French Guyana would have to upset Nicaragua or force a draw. And then, of course, they would need Jamaica to win by at least about 2 goals, I would say. Then they would need to beat Trinidad by 3 goals or more. So a lot needs to happen, but hey, that's why, you want to at least have a chance on the last day, and they do have a chance. Whether it's an outside one or not, Trinidad and French Guyana already know that they can't advance. But the last game still matters, because as you see right now, they're red, which means they would be relegated to League B for the next edition of the CONCACAF Nations League, and they're trying to avoid that. So all to play for. All the games kick off at the same time on the last day, so no way for corruption. So that is good. And we're really looking forward to these 3 games. Of course, we'll be, dead on the Jamaica Honduras one, but we'll have an eye on the others, because we know that they all will count and matter in terms of where we're going to finish in the standings, especially if, God forbid, Honduras were to turn us over at home. We would be looking at that other game to see how the goal difference is looking, and hoping that Nicaragua doesn't, put a beating onto French Guyana. But we're not even going to think like that, people. Draw or better at minimum. Now, let's take a look at League A, Group A. And the reason I want to look at this is because you know how the format of this competition works. There are 4 teams in CONCACAF that were able to skip this group stage phase, and they are ranked based on the CONCACAF rankings. So the current rankings are Mexico 1, Canada 2, USA 3, and Panama 4. And basically how it's going to work is the first place finisher with the better standings after the end of the group, whether that's the winner of Group A or Group B, will face the 4th seeded team, which is Panama. If Jamaica win the group but are the second ranked winner of the group in this first round, they would then face USA in a 2-legged tie. If we finish second, but we have a better ranking than the other second place team, we would then face Canada in a 2-leg tie. And if we finish second and are the second out of the 2 second place teams, we would face Mexico in the 2-leg tie. So you follow me, people? Are you following me? So as I said, the first seed is Mexico. So the only way we would face Mexico in the November window would be to finish second in our group and have a worse standing than the other second place team that would be in Group A. right? The second ranked team is Canada. And Canada, we would face them if we finish second in the group and we finish with a better standing than the second place team in Group A. Third place, moving along, is USA. Sorry. They are the third seeded team currently in the CONCACAF ranking index, and fourth is Panama. So if we are the first place finisher in our group and we have a better point standing and better goal difference and everything, we win the tiebreaker over the first place in the other group, then we will face Panama in a two-leg tie where we would host the first leg and go and travel away for the second leg. So that is how the breakdown goes, and that's why League A, which will be concluding the day after us, is important as well. So let's take a look at them and try to work out how it can look in terms of us finishing first overall in the whole competition. So the last game is in Costa Rica, and they're hosting Guatemala. And why I think that's important, people, Costa Rica would be going into that game the favorites at home. They also know that they need a win to get first place in the group. And as long as they win that game, Guatemala will be stuck on 7 points. Their +4 goal difference would at least go down to +3. And why that's important? Let's just say Jamaica don't, well, no. Basically, if we draw the game and Costa Rica win, it's a goal difference race. So right now, Costa Rica and us have the exact same goal difference and the exact same goal scored. 4 goals for, 1 against. So basically, let's say we draw 2-2, right? We'd have scored 6 goals, conceded 3. Let's say Costa Rica win this game 2-0. They would have scored 6, conceded 1, and they would finish on 8 points, first place. But they would be first of the first place due to a superior goal difference. So really and truly, I believe if Jamaica want to finish first in the overall standings of both of these groups, 3 points is the only result that will do so. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Costa Rica will get the 3 points, which will put them to 8. As long as we get the 3 points and get to 10, nobody can pass us. As I said, because we're on 7, and if we get to 8 by virtue of a draw, if Costa Rica wins, regardless, they will have a better goal difference than us, and they will get the first place. We will finish first, but second in the first place standings, if that makes sense. All right. So basically, 3 points, people. 3 points, and we're virtually guaranteed first out of first. Now, the only way we get 3 points and we don't get the top first place is if Guatemala somehow pull off the result in Costa Rica, because they have a superior goal difference to us as it stands. So the only way would be us, making up that goal difference. Let's say Guatemala win 1-0, they'll go to +5. We would have to beat Honduras at home by 2 goals to get to +5 ourselves. And even then, they have more goals scored than us. So we really need to win this game 3-0 if Guatemala were to win. But again, I think Costa Rica at worst is going to get a draw out of that game. So that's what I am thinking. 11 years unbeaten against them. Yeah, it's quite an impressive run, to be honest. Quite an impressive run. It was a preemptive strike by the JFF by including Jashan Anglin for Damian Lowe. The JFF pulled a bro and Nancy move. A midfielder replacing a defender. Go figure. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, Mason Holgate did make a 9th defender in the original squad. So I thought the midfield was light. So I'm not really going to beat them for angling for Lowe. I think they needed a midfielder more than any other position still. I just don't agree with the angling inclusion. I would have picked a different midfielder personally. Coach better put God on one side and pick the right team tomorrow. I am tired of the ugly win. We need Mexico or Panama, says the panelists. All right, well, if we get Mexico, that simply means we finish second in our group, and we finish second out of the 2 second place them as well, because they're the first ranked team. Big up Nigel Garden, big up. Yeah, man, win is a must. We will still face one of the big 4 teams, so to me, it doesn't matter first or second. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I'm not really concerned either way. I think you know, if the goal is to win this competition, we went to the semifinals last time. So the goal is to go one further and get to the finals. And if you make it to a final of a competition, surely you're trying to win. Wait, say Miran do that? What Miran do? We don't know what Miran do. All right, so that is the scenario as far as the game's point standing, how it's gonna look. You know, Nicaragua playing French Guyana. That's the one to watch. I mean, you know, just thinking all scenarios. Jamaica go down to Honduras by the odd goal, 2-1 or something like that. Our goal difference would go down to +2. And if you look right now, Nicaragua is -1. Now, of course, if they win that game by 3 goals, they would move to +2 themselves, and they would have scored more than the goals we scored, or at least equal them. So I think it would go down to head-to-head, which we do have. So that's a good that we have that tiebreaker. And the only way they could pass us is a wide margin against French Guyana, and we were to lose. If we lose by, let's say, 2 goals, then it gets a little sticky, because a 3-goal win for them would give them a superior goal difference to us. But again, people, we're not to think too hard about losing, because we ain't losing, people. We're not lose. Come on. We'll start the 50-game, not even winning streak, but 50-game unbeaten streak, like Cataract said. 50 games unbeaten. Yes. All right, wait, I'm gone now. All right, Nations League. So let's take a look now, people, at Honduras's team, just their entire team, the squad, everything, because I don't think you guys realized that they are a little bit different than the last time we faced them. So, we said the goal of the World Cup, stop pre the Nations League so hard. Yeah, man, that's the goal. But guess what? In order to reach the World Cup, you know, we have to build the momentum just the same. And these are the opportunities to prepare for that World Cup push, because these are the games that we play, that the players get to come together and play. So, you know, if the goal is the World Cup, we need to take all these competitions serious, because the further we go in these, the more pressure is on the games. The more pressure on the games, the better preparation it have. And then by the time the World Cup qualifiers in June roll back around, we'd have had a bunch of camps, competitive camps, under this new coach to get prepared for those games that we know are, you know, the main reason why we've hired him in the first place. So I think it's all a building process, and we need to not have a mentality where, okay, this is not the World Cup competition, so that means we can kind of, you know, I don't know. I feel like it should all be a big dress rehearsal for the World Cup games and those crunch qualifiers once we get to that next round. Well, hopefully we'll get to that next round. Nothing is guaranteed, but we're off to a good start. We got the 6 points, which is what we needed to get. Goal difference is not the best, but hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. New coach, new thing. Yeah, man. All right, so let's take a look at the last time we played Honduras. I want to show you guys the lineup we faced, and I want to show you guys that, because I'm then going to show you guys the squad now, and I'm going to show you there are quite a few players that we faced in Honduras that, you know, are not around in this camp. So let me get this on the screen. This was the game against Honduras, in Honduras. Actually, watch this game back just before I got on the show. St. Vincent beat El Salvador. Wow. That's a big win for them still. El Salvador really been struggling of late. All right, so Honduras. So this was Honduras versus Jamaica in Honduras the last time. So Luis Buba Lopez, experienced keeper, he was in the goal for the last game. He's not in the squad this time around, so that's one player. Luis Lopez not in the squad this time. So Lopez out. Joseph Rosales will be around, left back. Very good player. Plays in the MLS with Minnesota. Luis Vega plays locally. He'll be around. He started the last game. Maldonado had the own goal in that game. He's in the squad again. He'll be back. Christopher Melendez was called into camp, but did not make the match day squad for their game against who they just beat for their game against French Guyana. Luis Palma, who we all know from Celtic and from playing us previously, he actually was omitted from the squad, which I found to be very strange. So I did a little research and trying to figure out, what could be the purpose or the reason for this. Well, I looked, and he's only had 2 games played in the league all season in Scotland, 19 minutes. So a total of only 37 minutes, and that's from August till now at club level. So I believe that, they just weren't going for it. They said, look, if you're not playing at your club at all, we're not calling you up. They actually played a friendly with all the people gone on international duty, and he scored 2 goals in that game. So, he's trying his best now to get back in the coach's good graces. I mean, they've had Champions League matches. He got some time in this Premiership match. But other than that, it's just been pretty much time on the bench. That's last season. All right, this is this season now. So he played in the first game in the league, right? Had a cup game. We're not getting don't think we got the lineup for the cup game. So maybe he got some time in the cup games as well. Let's see. So he didn't start. Okay, so he got a little time off the bench in the cup, and that was way back in August. But anytime it's the Prem, he's back on the bench, not getting any game time. He went to the last window, right? Came back, got some time off the bench in this one against Hearts. But then he's right back to the bench again. Let's see if he played in this League Cup match. Probably did. Okay, he started this one this time. That's better. And played 60 minutes or so. And then he was in the Champions League, no time. Champions League, no time. Champions League or Premiership again, no time. And then he got a friendly in this window right now. So, yeah, so the coach, and that shows you people. Honduras have this player, widely regarded as maybe their freshest, newest talent, playing in the Scottish Premier League. Previously was in the Greek Super League as well. So, one of their brightest prospects, probably their highest market valued player at this moment. And because he's not getting game time at Celtic, he's not even in the team. So that just goes to show you the difference in how some of these countries operate. They really and truly will just use who they think is on form at the minute. So Palma, not in the team. Crazy. I know most of you guys didn't even realize that, but Luis Palma, not in the team for this window, so we don't have to worry about him tomorrow. Let's go back to the lineup. So Palma is out. So that's a big miss for them as well. Huge miss, I think. Palma out. David Flores and Arriaga, pretty much they are the pivot, the central midfield tandem. Usually they are the ones that are there. Edwin Enriquez back in the squad. Another one I think is going to be a huge loss for them. Was called up and then was deemed unfit to actually make the squad. Was David Ruiz, the Inter Miami player. Obviously had a good game against us in Honduras, scored the goal, was dangerous on the turn in the half space, trying to unlock our defense. Very energetic player, can play deeper as well, does play deeper for Inter Miami at times, but looks to be more of an attacking midfielder for Honduras. I think his absence is a big one as well. So Palma and Ruiz, that's 2 main cogs of their attack that won't be available. Choco Lozano will be around and more than likely will captain the team as well. When you look at the bench, Roches, who came on, is not in this team, I don't believe. Let me double check. I don't think he is. Roches is not in this one this time. And he came on for Lozano in the last window. Almendarez also got some game time. He's not back. And Douglas Martinez also not back. So they made quite a few changes. Lecona will be in the bench as a keeper. Marcelo Santos is in the squad. Garcia is in the squad. Pineda is in the squad. Jorge Alvarez, Alexander Lopez, Batiste dropped out. Castillo in the squad. So quite a few names that got game time against us. 1, 2, 3, the goalkeeper, David Ruiz and Palma. So that's what 6 players that played against us in Honduras are not actually in the squad this time around. Neither is Christopher Melendez. So that's actually 7 players out of the 23 in the roster we faced, not even in the squad this time. So they have 7 new players coming in, which we'll learn about in just a minute. But I thought that was interesting, people. I say Luis Palma, definitely one when you're facing Honduras, you want to shut down and keep quiet. You won't have to worry about him this go around. So this program will be about showing you guys, who are the ones to look out for now that we know Palma Ruiz won't be around, because Honduras do have a very good local league, and they actually relied heavily on that local league in this particular team selection, especially in those attacking areas. And we're going to go through and show you guys who I think will be starting for them tomorrow, and also see what they were able to do against French Guiana. All right. So since we're looking at it, just as a reminder, how did this game really pan out in terms of the statistics, right? So this was when we faced them, right? 60% to 40% in favor of Honduras. They had 2 big chances to R1. They took 10 more shots than us, 19 to 9. Blake had 5 saves. Buba Lopez had 3. Corner kick 6 to 2 in favor of Honduras. They attempted almost 200 more passes than us. 2 yellow cards to 1 on the day. Shots on target 6 to 4 in favor of Honduras. So a wide margin or a discrepancy in the total shots, but shots on target much closer. Shots inside the box dead even at 8 apiece, and they took way more shots from outside than we did with 11 to R1. When you look at the attacking tendencies of Honduras on the day, they had decent left and right side variation. I think this was partly due to Jamaica in this game. I thought kind of gave up the flanks in a way. Most of their free space did come wide. We were playing a quite narrow style against them. The wingers or the midfielders that were wide would kind of tuck a little bit narrower out of possession, Campbell and Gray. And I think that lended itself to them having a little more space on the flank to try to exploit. But we did a good job throughout the game of, for the most part, clearing crosses or just creating enough of a bad angle for the cross where it wasn't the ideal situation for the attacker to attack the ball. And we stayed relatively alert. I think the one time we fell asleep on a cross or a pass in behind was for the goal we conceded on this game. Low had came off at halftime. It was Bernard and Pinnock. I think both a little guilty of ball watching when Palma cut inside. Both got too attached to the football and just lost their markers for a split second. If you notice, both of them had their marks running behind them on the ball through. So just need to be a little more aware on those little plays. And we were, for the most part, in the game. And of course we had to rely on Blake quite a few times, especially in that second half to keep us in the lead. They missed their 2 big chances. We scored and converted R1, which obviously was the penalty. And then touches in the penalty area, almost even, 19 to 18. This was for Honduras. They were in our attacking third, about 10% more than the defensive third, but the bulk of the game was played in midfield. They almost, as I said, had 200 more accurate passes as well, about 180 more. Final third entries, they topped us by about 17, 63 to 46. Long passes, both teams pretty even there, 47 for us, 48 attempted for them. They did have a higher percentage though, 22 of 48 or 19 of 47. And crosses, they tried 18, we only tried 8. They connected 4 and we connected 2. Duels pretty even, but we edged it there, 52 to 48. And then ground duels and aerial duels, they had the better of the aerial duels. We had the better of the ground duels and dribbles, which I think, this is a stat that Jamaica definitely need to exploit against most teams that we face. And in this one, we had 20 attempted and converted 8 of them. So that is very, very high percentage. 40% on dribbles, really good. They were 2 of 10. On the other hand, tackles 1, pretty even there. Interceptions, recoveries, pretty even. We had way more clearances than them. Of course, we had more defending to do, especially in that second half. If you look at the difference really and truly in that first and second. So the first half, possession a little bit closer, 56 to 44. We didn't give up a big chance in that first half. Then you look at the second half, more shots, way more possession, and 2 big chances created. So, part of that was just them needing to go for it. But if you look at the actual overall momentum of the attacking in the game, I thought just that end of the first, start of the second was really that time of the game where we were under the cosh. And then, of course, in the dying moments as well, they really had a lot of it as well. And of course, you remember Blake making a crucial save right at the end to keep those 3 points secured. How different this group could have looked if Blake didn't save that ball at the end of that game, boy, I'm telling you. All right, so that was just a quick look back at the Jamaica versus Honduras game that was played earlier in this same Nations League tournament last month. It's a refresher and a reminder of how that game actually played out. And also just wanted to point out that 7 of the players that did touch the field against us that day are not in the squad to face us tomorrow. So just wanted to give you an update on that and show you guys what's going on with their squad. So now that we have seen that, people, before we go to the tactical pad, let's just take a quick look at Honduras' most recent game, right? So I watched this game as well, Honduras versus French Guiana. I thought that French Guiana pretty much got the most out of this game that they were going to get, as far as I'm concerned. They ended up getting 2 goals in the second half. They were down 3-1 and got a late goal 3-2 to kind of make it a bit interesting. But, I never really thought that Honduras was going to concede a third. In the end, they did keep the lead right there at 3-2, and it was very late, the 94th minute as well. But if you look at the overall stats for this game, actually, let me just go to the bigger screen for this. This is what the starting lineup looked like for Honduras in the last match. So Menjivar, another experienced goalkeeper in net. Menjivar, the 31-year-old, plays in Honduras for Olympia. Excuse me. He came in, and we have seen Menjivar before. He was the keeper that we would have seen throughout most of the World Cup qualifying and also in the Gold Cup as well. It's pretty much either him or Lopez that would keep for them for the most part. Both, I think, in like their early 30s, but they are definitely the main keepers. So Menjivar in this time, I do think Menjivar might have a slight edge as far as I'm concerned over Lopez. He's a taller goalkeeper. Similarly good shot stopping, but I think his command of the box in the air is a little better than Lopez. So I think overall he might be a little bit better than Lopez. So that's Eric Menjivar, right? So hi Sarai, big baller Sarai, It's gonna be a war. Trinidad or Jamaica. Australia struggle. I'll get new coach. Yeah, man, them not do well. Jamaica might get a good prep before. Yeah, a prep if you use it, man. Well, Honduras is not very smart. You don't have the depth to believe in your best players at home because he's not getting game. Well, that's one way to look at it, Them say them smart because them are go with Wagwan. Number 20 and number 5 are the main ball players. They were dominant in the first leg. Yeah, Davy Flores and Kervin Arriaga, excuse me. Those 2 players are extremely good in midfield, and they are ball winning players, and they're both technical as well. So yeah, we have to be aware when they are around the football. I think a couple of the opportunities we gave up in the first leg really just came down to them being able to nick the ball away, when we're trying to transition from defense to the middle third. So when they are the ones pressing, you have to be very, very aware and be very secure on the football, because they do have a tendency to just get that little toe on the ball and gain possession very well. Brought in 2 midfielders for 2 defenders. All right, so this is the team that played French Guyana, as I said. Mendivar in goal. Andy Nahar came in for Melendez at right back. Andy Nahar, the veteran. If you follow the MLS, you'd have seen this guy for years. Let me see. Is he still in the MLS? I think he might have moved to back to Honduras to play his football, but let me check. The man is an MLS veteran, man. Okay, so he went back. So he's at Olympia now. I know he was at DC United forever. Let's see when he actually, so he actually just left. So that makes sense. I remember seeing him up to last year. So yeah, he's at Olympia now. One of the top teams in Honduras, of course, and he's still out there doing it. 31 years of age, very attacking right back, but over the years has developed into a better defensive player as well. But I still would say he's an attacking right back for me. He'll be on that right side. It will be interesting though to see if Andy Nahar does start the game. He did start. He didn't play obviously against us. He wasn't in the team in the last time we played them when we went to Honduras. But when we played them prior to that, when Damari Gray got the goal, I think that was a 1-0 win. Andy Nahar did start and play 90 minutes. I think he played 90 minutes at right back in that game. So has played Jamaica before, has also played against Jamaica on this pitch before. So I wonder if his experience, because the other right back is not nearly as experienced as him, that's in the team, that would be Carlos Melendez. He can play out there on that wing, or he can play centre back. Devron Garcia, also a centre back that could potentially play right back. So they have a few options on the bench that they could use, but I think Nahar definitely the most experienced right back in the roster. So more than likely he'll be starting. Left back Joseph Rosales, he plays for Minnesota in the MLS. Very talented player. I think he probably will be leaving the MLS at some point and heading to try and get a game over there in Europe. Same goes for David Flores. David Flores still with Toronto FC. He is now 28 years of age, so not sure if he will get the move overseas. I think he actually did spend some time overseas though before going to Toronto. I want to say he was like in Israel or something like that, but let me see if my memory is actually working. Okay, so he was in Greece, and then he was, I don't know where this club is. So yeah, I was mixing up Greece and Israel, but I knew he was over there somewhere. And then he just got to Toronto this season, having a very good season in Toronto actually so far. So playing the bulk of the minutes in that league as well. So David Flores, definitely an engine in that midfield, breaks up the play well. And also has the other side of the game, as McLaren likes to say, uses the ball well, very, very well. And as you can see, he had the best rating on the park in the game against French Guyana, and also scored a header as well. Kervin Arriaga, very good player, a threat from set pieces, very tall. He recently has made a move as well. I believe he's on loan. I think he's in Romania, I believe. Yeah, I believe this club he's in Serbia. So he's in Serbia. He's at FK Partizan in Serbia. And yeah, he just made a permanent move this summer. He was at Minnesota with Rosales, and he did make the move over to Serbia at Partizan. So Kevin Arriaga, I would assume that this move came on the heels of, obviously good performances in the MLS, but I think he has really stepped his game up for the national team in the last, I would say, 12 to 18 months. Really become a fixture in that midfield. And I think Coach Rueda has found that good tandem to use in that midfield. And typically they are in games because their midfield is so strong. Then we have Rigoberto Rivas, who joined the squad. Now, he basically he's wearing Palma's jersey number, so he would kind of be the replacement for him. He played 80 minutes in the first game, was very, very lively, does play on that right-hand side of attack. And he actually plays in the first division in Turkey at Hatayspor. And yeah, he's made 30 appearances in that league for his career, but let's see what he did so far this season. So he's played in 7 of the matches so far, started 3, getting a little over half of a game of minutes per game, has no goals and no assists so far. But, you know, he is getting time in this Super League in Turkey, very high rated league, as you guys know. Had a decent spell. Well, not the best of spells leading into the window, but clearly, you know, at least playing more than Luis Palma. So let's see if they're that crazy to leave him out. Rigoberto Rivas, as I said, looked really dangerous in that game, but you know, how much of that was the opposition, how much of that was just his pure quality, we'll definitely find that out. I was surprised to see Edwin Rodriguez playing a little central in this game. He pretty much spent the first half in this number 10 space. Pinto, who did leave the field of play in the second half, once he came off, Rodriguez moved back wide and Alvarez was playing more central in the number 10 space. I'm going to be interested to see if Rivas has recovered, because he was kind of forced off due to a slight injury in that first game. That's why he was substituted off the park. I don't think it was anything that will linger. I didn't see anything in the reading up that I did leading into the game that he was a doubt or anything like that. But yeah, the things to watch, I think, tactically, where will Edwin Rodriguez start? You know, does he go with, if Rivas isn't 100, does he play Edwin in his preferred right or left role? Start Pinto again, because he likes to play wide as well. And then you might see the likes of Alexander Lopez, veteran in this team, playing that 10 space, or it could be Jorge Alvarez as well. It could be Ben Guche, who came off the bench. Big towering player, came on for Lozano, but also Ben Guche can play left or right in this system as well. So some interesting calls for Rueda coming up. But this is just the most recent 11. I do expect for the most part it will look a lot like this. I don't think Flores or Arriaga will be changed. I did check the yellow cards as well. Nobody is suspended or anything, so they have the full complement to select from. I could definitely see the goalkeeper, the back line, and the 2 midfielders stay exactly the same. So those 7 players, I think the 4 more attacking players is where you might see some changes. And we're going to take a look at the tactical pad in just a minute to tell you what I think it's going to look like once we do get those teams up and running on the screen. All right, so let's see. Let's just take a quick look also at the game itself. So this is the attack momentum. One good spell in the first half for French Guiana came from about, minute 15 or so, for about 7 to 8 minutes or so. That was their best spell of the first half. But other than that, Honduras really in cruise control, and I thought were the well-deserved scorers of the first goal of the match. Lozano getting his goal in stoppage time of the first half. Then really against the run of play out of the blue, French Guiana did get an equalizing goal. And then I think after that, though, they looked like they could maybe even get the second until Honduras kind of picked themselves up again. And once they got that second goal, it really looked like they could go on to score 4, 5, 6 in this one. In the end, it was just 3, and they did concede late to make it a little bit nervy in the end, but they did get the 3 points. But as far as the statistics for this one goes, 3 big chances to none created by French Guiana, 10 shots to 7. The keeper, though, Menivar, did have to make 3 saves to only 2. For the other keeper of French Guiana, they had the corner kick advantage. The passes a lot more, 240 yard, 230 yard more passes attempted. Shots on target were dead even, 5-5. So that is one thing that I will say about French Guiana. They didn't really have much of the ball, but they were very, very, very good in terms of like entries turning into shots, at least turning into actions that were close to being a shot. I think that we could learn a lot from how direct they were at times, especially when there was any inkling that they would have an opportunity, they just went for it. And I think if they had a little bit more quality, they could have maybe got something out of the game, to be honest. So I'm hopeful that it's a similar. I don't think that Honduras will be as, I do think at times they were guilty of just feeling like they were gonna win in spells of the game, like they knew they had them. And I don't think they'll have that same mindset against Jamaica. I think they'll be much more focused. So I don't think they'll be as willing to give away opportunities like they did against French Guyana. But I have to give French Guyana credit. Sometimes they did just carve out chances as well. It wasn't like they were just given to them too. So but the shots on target were dead even, and that's crazy. I just watched the game today and I would have never thought that, to be honest. 5-5. Shots inside the box, a lot more for Honduras. Let's just look at their attacking. Again, similar to with us, they kind of use that middle third, both wings, and they're very evenly distributed which wing they go down. I think Damari said it well in the press conference when he said they're a variation team. So it's not like you can say, okay, take this away and you stop them. I think they can mix it up. They can possess. They can play through the thirds. They sometimes go direct and diagonal. They can play for the second ball as well on those long up passes up the field. So they can switch it up, which I think is something that kind of separates them from a lot of the Central American opponents we have. They do have that other physical side as well. I think it's pretty much a dead even physicality matchup when it comes down to Honduras and Jamaica. So that's very rare for most Central American teams. That's literally something we can usually use against teams. I don't believe we have that advantage against Honduras. So, 22 touches in the area to their 12 for Honduras. Bulk of the game being played in the midfield areas here. 220 something extra passes completed for Honduras on the day. Final third entries, they had the advantage there as well by about 16. No, by 26, 68-42. So a lot more passes in the final third phase. Decent percentage as well. Kind of want that in the 70s though, so maybe they weren't so happy with that. They went long a lot of times in this game, 68. I think that had a lot to do with the pitch. So let's try and see how the long pass situation looks in Kingston, because I think French Guyana's pitch is worse than ours, but I think ours is worse than it was in Honduras, and I think they were in the high 40s in Honduras. So let's see if the pitch really plays a part in the long passes. Is it going to be in the 50s, the 60s for both teams? Let's see. Crosses, Honduras put in a bunch of them, 18. Remember, against us, they only had 10. So, how much of that was just so much space and time against French Guyana? They just had so many opportunities. I don't really see them as the type of team to whip in so many crosses. But I think against a team like this, when they were low block like that, you had to try and get some balls into the box, which is what they did. But that was basically the statistic sheet for the French Guyana Honduras game. I didn't really take so much stock in how I saw Honduras play. I really was just trying to scout the players that I hadn't seen before. Rigoberto Rivas, Jose Pinto, especially, didn't really know much about them leading into this game. So I wanted to watch them play and just give a report. Not a report, but just know what to look out for with them. I think both players, I think Rivas is the kind of like the more of a live wire player. He's more like Palma than Pinto. I think Pinto is kind of more like Rodriguez, nippy, technical, maybe not the one-on-one guy, but definitely Rivas. He's the one that I think will give you that kind of one-on-one action, try to take people on, try to give you that final pass that's going to put players through, and also a decent goal threat as well. So Rivas and Pinto, as I said, entering the fray. Do they keep their places coming to Kingston? How does Rueda see this one? That's something to watch there. So now that we have discussed a little bit about the Honduras team, about the current version of the team, let's go ahead and head to the tactical pad now, so we can do what we all want to do, and that's look at the different ways Jamaica can set up to face this Honduras team. All right, so let me first open the pad off screen, because I want to make sure I don't have anything up. I want to just put I want to just have a blank field for now, and then we can set up the two team them. So I have an idea how Honduras going to look. So I will keep the Honduras team just waiting, but I don't want it on screen as yet. I don't want the Jamaica screen because I was working on this last night. Had the Jamaica team had a few adjustments to make. You know, had some players drop off the team, so I have one suspended. So I just wanted to make sure we had that ready to go for when we did the preview show. Got some positive feedback from people that they like the setup and the look of this tactical pad. So definitely gonna continue using it and working on it. There's a lot of skills that I haven't utilized that I can use with it. So I'm just gonna keep on working, and you'll see the improvements as time goes. But I think it's pretty cool and a nice way to let the people see what's going on with the game. Anglin and Lambert for Lowe and Bernard. Okay. So is Anglin actually there? Cause I mean not Anglin, is Bernard is what's his name? Is Lambert actually there? Because he wasn't, I don't even think he was there in Nicaragua. I guess he just went to Jamaica, I guess. So number 6. I wonder if Lambert could have played. Our fans need to make a choice. Either they want us to have a very competitive local league that pays our players a living wage to stay home, like in Nicaragua, or we keep exporting players for real. One Honduras player I do not miss is Albert Ellis. He was playing in France, but I believe his contract expired. Yeah, he caught the injury bug, man. He couldn't stay fit. So I don't know what actually. It's a good shot, you know. That brother there is a real good player, you know, man. I don't know what he's doing these days, you know. Yeah, it's just without a club at 28, 1.5 million. That's crazy, man. Man can't get a club. I'm assuming he's injured or something. His contract ran out on the 31st. That's crazy. Bordeaux bought him for like 4 million, you know, or actually 6.5 million euros. Or 6 million euros. Yeah, they bought him for 6 million euros. I know he was at Houston for a long time in the MLS. But yeah, he was a baller. Or, well, he is a baller. I don't know what's going on with him. He do have a team, which is very strange. But it can happen. You know, Ravel didn't have a team for a while either, so we know it's not outside of the realm of possibility to not have a team. That yellow Nana got in Cuba was horrible. Yeah. Okay, so you saw him on the gram. Yeah, because I mean, I don't think I saw any pictures of him in Nicaragua, so I guess it was just too late for him to reach there. They just said, all right, just go to Jamaica, and when we reach back, you join up again, you know? All right, so let's get the pot up. I'm do a like check people, because you know the goal was 100 for the night, you know. I'm sure we reach. We not even reach 58 people. Do better than that. We have over 50 of you in the house. I know from the video start more than 100 people forward, but you don't know people are go bad mind and don't press the damn like. So everybody that might have forgotten, please do so right now. Greatly appreciated, my people. All right, so let's get. Yeah, man, we can play CB or CDM. All right, so let's get the tactical pad up. And this is the two logos, JFF and Honduras. And basically what we want to do is just go ahead and make the starting lineup, right? So we know that Damian Lowe is suspended, right? So we have yeah, man, you can't forget the like button, man. It's crazy. Some people do though. It's sad. Can't believe it, but they do. All right, so this right here is the lineup or the field, and we're gonna go ahead and fill out the lineups now. All right, so Blake in goal. Everybody know that. Yeah, Duke, put it Duke first. Everybody, Blake in goal. All opposed say aye. I think there will be silence there. So Andre Blake, Capo, rightfully in a goal. So that's Andre Blake, people. All right, now we have some options for the midfield. I mean, for the center back. So is it safe to say that Ethan, left center back, pretty much? We don't have to really argue so much about that. Ethan Pinnock, left center back. All opposed say aye. Library settings. Nobody says a thing. All right, so now I think there's one other slot on the back line that probably picks itself currently. I just don't see the coach putting John Bell into this high pressure situation here. So as long as everything is good, which he said everybody is fit, so don't have to worry about that. I think Greg Lee keeps his left back position as well. So we'll slot Greg out to the left back role. And then, so the other two slots on the back line is where I think the contentions will lie. Obviously, center back options, we have newly added to the team, Mason Holgate, Joel Latibodere, who has been playing central defensive midfield for us, is an option at center back as well. We have Richard King in the squad. So I think those would be basically the three options at center back that we could look at. Kevin Lambert also would be an option. I think he's probably maybe the fourth choice option of all those names, I would say. So won't really include him. So it's really going to be one of Mason Holgate, Richard King, or Joel Latibodere. So what do you guys think is the best to go with on the back line? Rob Smith said, remember when the man them was saying Dylan Barnes should start over Blake because he can use his foot? Yo, I don't know if people went that far, but Dylan Barnes did impress with his feet. I can't say that is true. I don't know if it was like to the point where he should start. I do know there was a time when people said Waitmite could start over him. I don't remember Dylan Barnes getting that though. Lee, Pinnock, Holgate, Latti. King might get in and Latti rest. So if King get in, you would play King at right back or you would play Holgate at right back? Because based on this, you have Lee, Pinnock, Holgate, Latti. So if King came in for Latti, would you put King at right back or you would slide Holgate to right back and put King in the middle? I'm assuming King would go to the middle for you, but maybe not. Maybe them use King, seeing it's a home game. Maybe. Okay, Fana say it would be at CB. Pinnock and King. Well, we saw Pinnock and King play one time before against Costa Rica. I think that was statistically the best game King ever played for Jamaica. I think he got like a 8.0 in that game or something. Started out very shaky the first 5-10 minutes, but after that really did well. Good passing, good defending, good distribution. He broke lines a few times in that game as well. So yeah. Aside from the first two plays he had to make, which I thought he looked just very, very nervous, he definitely did decent on the day. Pinnock brought him along, and yeah, he didn't do too badly. I would actually put Latti at CB and play Lambert at 6. Okay, cool. All right, so give me some name, people. Give me one name. Right center back. Right, one name. I'm gonna Whoever get the most, I'm putting that. So listen to the instruction, people. Right center back, partner for pinup. Who we put in there? Let me know. Let me know. We say too irie. All right, so Duke say King, Fana say King. So we have 2 votes for King. Eagle say Holgate. Right center back. You now put Tavon Gray there. All right, so you don't vote for Gray for right back. Cool. They were in a 3 at the back. Oh, that day against Costa Rica. Why? Tope did play too. It was Tope, Pinnock, and King. Can look up Richard King game them, because I'm not really count the Cavalier one them. So the Jamaica game against Costa Rica, now I got too far down him list. Or all the Iceland game them though. Yeah, get a 8. Oh, maps. Okay, it wasn't Topi, it was maps. Yeah. So we have a Lati. So we get 2 King, a Holgate, and a Lati. Low is suspended. Yellow card suspension. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So we are trying to pick the right center back to partner Pinnock. The options are Lati Bodere moving back to center back, or Mason Holgate, or Richard King. So give me your vote. Yeah, man, me figure out say Tavon Gray was your right back. So once you get to the right back vote, me know your vote. But you can put it against him. King. So we have 2 votes for King, 1 vote for Holgate, 1 vote for Lati. Or 2 votes for Lati. Because Rob said would put him at center back as well. So far, Lati and King tied. And we have 1 vote for Mason Holgate. So we need some more vote, people. 41 on there, you know. So many people don't want to type, or so many people are watching on them TV. I'm a star on the big screen. Right center back, people. Right center back. Let me know. Right center back. So I leave something for my pregame tomorrow, you know, before the game starts, you know. So now I do that. So I'll pick the team, pick the 2 team them, and then we're out of here. Based on the presser, I believe it. I have a feeling to be Holgate. Really? Why? Because what answer gave you that thought? Holgate is indeed the better choice, but this game is a hot game to give him that start. Yeah, I mean, based on what Rob was saying about the aggression, I actually think that Holgate's style of defending at center back is an aggressive style. So I think stylistically it could work similar to Lowe, you know what I mean? And I think Holgate's quicker than Latibodere as well, and a little more agile. So, you know, if they do get in behind, you know, a couple times Nicaragua was in behind and Lowe, Pinnock, they chased and got, you know, I don't think Latibodere. Well, Latibodere in a straight line is pretty fast. He just can't change direction so fast. So I don't know, man. It's a tough one. I mean, we have never seen Latibodere play center back in a 2 or in a back 4. It's always been a 3, where he's got a little bit more coverage in terms of his size, because you know he's not the tallest player. Holgate isn't a giant, but he's taller than Latibodere. And I know height isn't the end all be all, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Cannot go back to Lati. That was part of the problem. He's not part of the solution in midfield. King or Holgate. Okay, well, pick one, Nick. King or Holgate don't help me. Pick one of those 2. Tomorrow is a derby game. We need Mason Holgate, Damian Lowe part 2. Lati head chip too, you know. Yeah, we're going to use him head chip in our midfield. The coach said he saw Holgate playing in multiple formations, and we will see where tomorrow. Okay. All right, so Nicholas, are you going to break the tiebreaker in a boss? Because the man them say King. Man them say King. 2 say King. 2 say Lati. and 2 say Holgate. So we need the tiebreaker, Nick. ND Hall 86. You either going to get buckled by the fans or them are going to put some clapping emoji. Let's see. No pressure. Okay, my dead with laugh. Okay, sorry, sir. Holgate then, he has plenty of experience and he should be able to hold his own. Okay, so you're going with the experience in the world game. Not necessarily with Jamaica, but just more experienced overall. Okay, fair enough. So I think Mason Holgate then would be the winner as far as votes. Let me just double check and make sure. So Eagle said Mason. Nick said Mason. DJ Gig said Lati. Fana and Duke said King. And Rob did say Lati. Yo, you know, say it's two, everybody get 2. King get 2. Holgate get 2. And Lati get 2. So Jono, Nick, we need a next tiebreaker, you know. Yo, one of the 38 people in here. Give me a name. There's 3 names. Richard King, Lati Bodair, or Holgate. And this is at center back to partner Pinnock. Give me a name, people. Why police say so much too? Why? Why boss? I start calling him the why boss. People. Okay, Avis has broken the tie. So Lati Bodair is out of the midfield officially. Nicholas, I am sorry. You only get 1 vote. The man say Lati was a part of the problem in defense. So why are we gone? So Holgate get another vote. So all right. So King look like King gone a little further back now. Lati and Holgate tied. Hot Chili say Holgate. So Malgate is 11:22. About a few seconds left until 11:23 hits. I'm gonna close the votes at 11:23 or 10:23 if you're in Jamaica. So right now Holgate is in the lead by 1 over Lati Bodair, and King is 2 behind right now. Why if you're next 2? DJ Geek said if you're looking for speed, Holgate would be perfect. But I think we're seeing that the partnership of Lowe and Pinnock kind of works together in tandem. And I think the player that has the attributes most similar to Lowe would be Holgate, to be honest. Because I think Holgate and Lowe both take chances due to their athleticism. Because they have good recovery speed. And I think that's why they both have high card ratio as well. Because they do take chances and risks and they play aggressively. Pinnock is a lot more measured, doesn't go to ground as much, you know? So it's a difference. I think sometimes Pinnock does need a more aggressive person around him just to balance everything. Lati Bodair looked stressed out in Nicaragua, and that was not even a high-stakes game. CONCACAF ain't no joke, man. All right, so it's 11:23. The voting is closed, and Wells and Hot Chili saved the day for Holgate. So Mason, first start in the office. First start for Jamaica, period. If this team is right. Mason Holgate, center back partner. All right, now this one going to be another one now, people. So are you going with the match fitness, more informed player that we saw play against Nicaragua? Are we going with what we've seen work best for Jamaica in the past, and that's Dexter Lembikisa? So Tavon Gray or Dexter Lembikisa, people, at right back? Or do we put Lati Bodair at right back? He can play there as well. Match no play yet. Match I play tomorrow night, Father Jermaine. I soon drop a link for your live stream. And you can watch it in there tomorrow. We'll have it in the Discord as usual. So Duke said Dexter. All right. Give me some more vote, people. Avis, where you there? Wells, where you there? Actually, where you there? DJ Gigs, Nick. Drop on the people, man. Come on, man. It shouldn't take so long. Dexter, Tavon, or Joel Latibody at right back. Yeah, man, we pick Lee long time. Gray right back. All right, so we have one Dexter, one Gray for the right back. One Dexter, one Gray for the right back. I think all Eagle did say it before too, you know. What Eagle did say. It's not Eagle. Somebody did say it, man. Oh, okay, yeah. Eagle did say Tavon Gray. So two for Tavon, one for Dexter. Rob Smith said Gray had his chance and failed. Back to Dexter. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 for Dexter. 2 for Gray plus 1 earlier from Eagle. So that's 3. So it's 4-3 in favor of Dexter. It's 11:25. May I get our next minute, people? Let me know. So Tavon Gray with another vote. Or no. Eagle has spammed the voting. Eagle said Tavon long time. So we're still 4-3 in favor of Dexter Lembekisa. I'm going to say 11:27 polar close. So Dexter in the lead 4-3. Going once. Going twice. So Dexter Lembekisa gets the nod over Tavon in this go around. He'll be on the right-hand side of that back four. Now, let's move into the midfield, people. The midfield. So I believe the coach is going to play a 4-2-3-1. So let's keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and pick the deeper line midfielders. So the two in the double pivot. What do you guys think that will look like tomorrow? Of course, the last game, he went with a Latibody and Karai Anderson partnership. Do you think we'll see that again? Yeah, Dexter took it. It was about 5-3 or 6-3 for Dexter. Nick said, if Gray's big, fast, and strong man should play CB. You know, funny enough, that's where he used to play. He used to play CB, like when he captained USA, I think under 17 World Cup it was. He was a center back, and he played center back pretty much all up until getting drafted to New York, and then he was converted to a right back, which I think was a good move for him because I don't think he grew tall enough. He doesn't look tall. Hot Chili said Lati and Casey. All right. I like that Hot Chili. I'm going to follow Hot Chili lead. Give me two names. All right, Avis, I respect that. That's what you want to see. But the screen, we have Holgate at center back. So you have to go give me somebody else in the pivot. Casey and who? Palma and Lati, the coach, will go with. I would have went with Lambert and Casey. Okay. So we're doing the predicted 11. So yeah, we'll go with what you predict the coach to do, which is Palma and Lati. Fair enough. But Lambert and Casey is a nice balanced midfield too, you know. I just think Casey should play further forward, but I know the coach can play him deeper. So we have a Lati and Casey. We have a Karai and Joel. Dirty work. All right. So sticking with the same as Nicaragua. Lati and Casey for Wales. Lati and Casey. So I don't think nobody are going to beat this. All right. So it's going to be Latibody and Casey Palmer. Looks like they have the most votes. So let's put Lati and Casey in that midfield. think Lati will just be a little bit deeper. Why? All right, now let's go left first. So give me a left-sided midfield player / left wing. Who you guys putting on that left side? We have multiple people. Damari Gray, Ronaldo Cephas, Kaim Dixon, Norman Campbell, Tyreek McGee, number of players. But who you putting on that left? Take Black my vote. Lati and Anderson. All right, them still no win. Because of just you and Eagle Republic, you know? Everybody else is Lati and Casey. So Demi, I agree. Usually when the boss them go at the presser, them I go play. So let's get Demi over that side. I almost just put him on the field, you know, but true, me no want assume nothing. I just say, me ask the people. All right, so D Gray, on the left. Next up, who you guys putting in the center attacking midfield / central midfield? Who you guys put in there? That I want to know. So the candidates are Bobby Reed, Tyreek McGee. Who else could play there potentially? Nobody else really still, you know, on this lineup, you know. Lambert, Anderson, Anglin. So we went from having no DMs to having 5. Dixon, Cephas, Campbell, Williams. Williams could play there. It would have been more like a supporting striker, but he could. All right, so we got Bobby, Workhorse Reed. All right, so everybody say Bobby. Boy, what a long way you have forwarded from Bobby. Respect all the people and respect, you know. You just have to fight for people like this, brother, you know, man. So him not good. Man missed a chance against USA. You couldn't tell nobody say him not good in a big man. No matter worse. People finally coming around Bobby Reed. That is good. All right, now who we are playing on the right hand side? Yeah, I think if the game getting away from us second half, we need a goal. I wouldn't be surprised if him go with the two of them together, because I think Romario intelligence and movement and awareness a little better than like a Shamar playing with another striker with him. I don't think Romario would go, because even when you saw Romario and Shamar play together, it worked just fine, because Romario is comfortable dropping deeper into that half space, not occupying the same space, you know. Only cuckoo juice drinker think that Bobby Reed no good. Brother, if there was a time, man, I think him kill that narrative by now. But there was a time when me have to defend Bobby Reed to a lot of people. I mean, I said to myself, yo, I don't think this guy is good. I don't understand. I don't get it. Bless up, Martin. What go on, bro? Long time I not see you in a place. Big up yourself, Martin. Up full. All right, so right side, people. I not see no names yet, you know, people. I want to wait, pan. Right hand side, you know, last game, Tyreek McGee was over there. You know, we have other options. Cephas, Campbell, Dixon. Yeah, that's pretty much all the options on that right side. I mean, you wouldn't want to put Romario that side. So, yeah, man, big up yourself, Martin. Every time. Well said, Tyreek, Maggie Lula. You see a man say Maggie see the other day. That one they kill me. Maggie kind of double cam roll with Bobby. If Dex is starting, he can create with the width. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why we got that first goal, was Bobby Reed's ability to just read the open space, interchange. When Maggie dropped a little more central and deeper, Bobby made sure to occupy that wide space, drag that defender wide, and then dart into the space in behind. So that synergy they had and that ability to just switch roles at any time because they're both comfortable either place. I think that was a good thing. So I think that McLaren would want to explore that again. Personally, I think Maggie did enough to play again. I like some of the pockets, and I also think that when Palma is playing, we're gonna see even more interchange with Palma, Reed, and Maggie. I'm interested to see that whole dynamic play out. You know, three very technical guys that like to create triangles and overloads and just, you know, move through the pitch that way. Tyreek McGee, Cephas off the bench. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. May I go say Cephas, but don't really know with this one. Okay, so we get a Cephas vote. So what that 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 McGee. You know, the last game I saw a comment on the JFF IG, a person saying Bobby Reed should take off the number 10. Ah, boy. I don't know why. Bobby Reed plays so good, bro. I think a 4 key pass the man making a dog. Not in this game, but in I think the Cuba game, I think. Him and Palma did make like 4 key pass, or 3 at least. Avis and Maggie. So look like Maggie Lula Magesi get the right hand spot again. I have no issues with that, to be honest. Think he did enough to get another play. And just hope him can find the same passes like he did in the first game. I will tell you this. You know, those rare occasions when he didn't track back, we weren't punished against Nicaragua. But one thing you'll find, similar to like the USL Championship, you can maybe not run back every time because the quality ain't there to finish and punish. Honduras do have that quality. So, Mr. Maggie, don't rest on your laurels, my friend. You have to go give us the work rate both sides of the pitch, because I believe that if you leave Lembikisa out to dry this time, like you did to Gray a few times, we might get punished against this opposition. So just keep that in mind. Tyreek. All right, and up front, if he's good to go, fit and ready, I think everybody would put Mikel Antonio up front. That is so true, Rob Smith. Everybody just say, you know, Nana saved the game. The key to that was not only Nana, but also changing to a 4-3-3 with Bobby Reed going central. Helped a lot. We're saying can sell it to Mason for 50K. Campbell on the right wing and Gray left wing. All right, so we get a Campbell vote and we get a Cephas vote. Yeah, Campbell will run back all past the right back. The way other man they run back enough. Yeah, man, him work rate up. That is true. Yeah, Antonio number 9. I'm not even gonna let you guys sway my vote. Want to see Mikel in this one. Cause fits to the Honduras team in Honduras. You know, the rare occasions where he did get a chance or get on the ball. You know, I almost think he could have done more damage in Honduras if he just could get his touches a little bit neater right before the shot. But anytime he was outside of the width of the 18 in space, you could just sense the panic. They were fouling him. You know, he created a lot of opportunities that way. And also just overall his presence, I mean, just drawing defenders to him. I think like, you know, Bobby Reed, D. Gray, Maggie will all have a little more space because Antonio will be on the field. So yeah, this to me is a decent enough starting lineup. I could see the coach going with this. You know, the only thing I struggle with, you know, would he trust Mason enough to play him at centre back in his first game? You know, I do think that is his best position. So if you're going to put a player in a situation like that, you want to put him where he's most comfortable, which I think he would be. I think the fact that he would be partnering Ethan is a good thing. You know, we've seen where Ethan is a calming influence, and I think Holgate will need that at times with the atmosphere, with the crowd and all that. And, you know, Choco Lozano is a dangerous striker. He's very intelligent, draws fouls well. So Holgate will have to be mindful of that, and just take the advice of the other players. Hopefully he's getting a crash course in how CONCACAF is. I think it's great though that he got those little, whatever it was, 13 minutes plus injury time in Nicaragua against a Central American opponent. Crazy atmosphere. At least he got a taste of that adrenaline rush and that feel. It's not like this game will be the first time we ever play. So that to me will be helpful, because I do think that he will start. I'm just not sure where on the pitch he's going to start. So I think this 11, the only thing that I think might be different from this 11 people, to be totally honest, I think that Tavon Gray might start again. That's the only thing that I would say. Me personally, I think the coach might switch. I think Palma and Antonio come back in. They couldn't play there. They're fresh. He's going to bring them back in. I think Anderson, just based on who he's played in Windows previously, I think he would be the direct replacement for Palma. And I think Williams would be taken off for Antonio. And the only thing that I think he might not change is Tavon Gray out and Lembekisa back in. But let's see who is right. Let's see what is right. But I will just take a mental picture of these people, because this is what I think the lineup will be for tomorrow. The only thing that I'm a little on the fence about is the Lembekisa and Tavon Gray situation over that side. All right. But let's move to Honduras now. And I had created this earlier, so I'm just going to show you guys what I think it's going to look like. They will probably mirror our formation and play a 4-2-3-1 as well. Menivar will be in the goal for them. I think Andy Nahar will play right back, the experienced right back they have. Played in this stadium before, so one thing that I'm looking forward to is the last time we played there, the atmosphere was basically shit. But now I think there is a much better vibe and feeling around the team. And I do think that the stadium will continue to have a slightly better turnout from each previous game, which means that they will be in for a much different setting than what they saw last year when we played them in the Nations League and got that 1-0 victory, when it was quite a paltry turnout, I would say. Then we have Arriaga and David Flores. We need to make sure we're aware when these guys are pressing you. Please pay close attention. They win the football all the time. It's very annoying. All right. Rodriguez, I think, will play centrally tomorrow, right in behind Choco Lozano. And then I think there'll be a sub on the flank. I think the goal scorer off the bench will start on one of the wings. And I think Pinto will start back on the left-hand side. Now, it could be... Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I believe Rivas will start and not Pinto. So I think they're going to start Rivas. And it could be the wings are swapped, but I think this is what we'll see tomorrow. So basically the same starting lineup, except for Pinto dropping to the bench. You know what? I don't even think I'm going to do this either. I think Rodriguez will get back his spot. Rivas will play where Palma normally plays. I don't think they're going to start this guy. I think they're going to just tell Lozano to run his socks off, and then Benkuche will be the straight swap. I think they're going to go for... It's going to be between the experience of Lopez in the 10 or number 23, Alvarez. That's the two I think it's going to be. Let's say they go with the experience. So I think Alexander Lopez might play that number 10 role tomorrow. But it's going to be between him and Alvarez, I think. But let's see. They played Rodriguez centrally last game behind the striker. Don't think he was as effective. I think he's a lot better wide. So I think they'll probably push him back wide for this one. So that's what I think the lineups are going to look like. Mirroring teams, basically. 2-4-2-3-1 systems. But yeah, this is what I could definitely see going into tomorrow's game. I expect a close one, a tight affair. I am very hopeful. It's a Monday in Jamaica, people, but it's late enough so you can get off work and do your thing, get to the match. Please make sure to go out and support if you can. Wish I could be there. I would definitely be there, but obviously mans have to work tomorrow and pick up kids from school and do all kind of madness. So we cannot go to the stadium tomorrow, people, but that's okay. You know, we'll be supporting from where we can. We're going to do a live stream, watch along. As a matter of fact, before I close the stream for the night, I'm going to just go through the comment section, see if anybody had any last things that they wanted to say. I know Ryan's still doing his thing right now. The viewers, them over that side. But you don't know, people. This content is rewatchable. The information will still be there to be digested tomorrow as well. So anybody that didn't get a chance to watch tonight, feel free to watch back from the replay. If you caught this late, you missed some good information as far as Honduras team is concerned. So make sure you go back, and also at the beginning of the program, I did play in full the audio version of the press conference as well. So if you wanted to hear what Steve McLaren had to say leading into the game, you know, try to fight your way through some of the questions that were very unnecessary, but there were some good ones and some good information was learned as well. So feel free to run back the show and see what we had to say as far as the breakdown of the presser, and then also as we moved into the part of the show where we discussed the the Honduras team and what their squad looks like going into tomorrow's game. And the key points from that conversation: Luis Palma, star player for them, playing at Celtic, not getting enough game time over there. The coach decided not to call him at all. David Ruiz from Inter Miami, who gave us a lot of trouble in the Honduras game we played last month, fell short of making it to this roster due to an injury. So two key players out of their attack, not in the team, which was actually news to me. I thought Ruiz was in the squad, but just didn't play the last game. Come to find out, he was actually injured. And Palma, I didn't even realize until I did the rewatch of the French Guyana game that he wasn't even there. So yeah, I was getting ready for this show thinking, okay, we need to definitely have a segment on stopping Palma, but there will be no need for that tomorrow because he's not in the squad at all. What I want to do though, people, is I have my live stream for tomorrow night already set up. So I want to drop the link to that stream in the comment section. And once I do so, then I can have you guys hop over there and just drop some likes on it. You know, it definitely helps in the algorithm if the show, even prior to starting, has quite a bit of likes on it. So I'm going to utilize the fact that 30-40 out of you are in here right now. Yeah, man, if we can get like a good 15, 20, 25 likes on the video for tomorrow, that would be greatly appreciated, believe me. So let me drop this in the comment section. So that is the link to the live stream watch along for tomorrow, people. So yeah, man, just click on the link, drop a like, and then jump back into the building as we close out the show for tonight. All right. Let's see. Let me go through. Yeah, tomorrow is what? Veterans Day, I believe, or Columbus Day. One of those days. Tomorrow is a holiday. But yeah, I don't have no kids. Tomorrow, but man still have to work on the holiday still. So no kids pick up, people. But I think Julie still have training and I have to work. But you're right, tomorrow is a damn holiday. When you say his touch, of course. Yeah, Avis, that's one thing I noticed under this coach. He had a lot more touches in and around the box in this 90-minute game against Honduras, a game where we didn't create so many chances either. But he had touches in the box in that game. So, yeah, I think that's something that the coach worked on. I also think that the midfield as currently constructed with one more ball handler in it is also lending itself to him not having to drop deep. So there's a number of things I think causing that change. I think instruction is one, and I think, you know, putting more technical players on the pitch is helping with that as well. Bobby out wide, Gray left, Palmer through the middle, McGee, Cephas off the bench. O'Shane, I wouldn't mind that either. The way that McGee played that wide role, it kind of opened my eyes and made me say, yo, say that would be Palma best role. Because that's how I see him play for Hull City and Coventry and them team, Him play like where Demar Gray or McGee play. And him just drift inside, leave space for the fullback to overlap him. And him end up playing a Camish type of role. I would bring both Norman Campbell and Cephas off the bench somewhere in the 65th. Where it says speed. Speed when them tired. Bless up Dr. Euro. What go on? One done. Big up Gooner. Big up yourself, Sherman. Indigenous people there. Yeah, I work with the Columbus. True. I would put Bobby at right side, Casey, Palma, McGee, and Holgate in the center. Rotted. I think the reason why I'm never put McGee in the center, at the work rate, him figure him not want him in the central part of the pickle there. Want to give him a freedom. Give him more space for maneuver. Them lose today. After them get the 2-1 last time, I never even check it back. When I recognize no Christopher. Yeah, man, me see pre, man. Me see pre. All right, people. So, do me that favor, the people. Smash that link in the comment section. See the highlighted comment here. YouTube live show that's for tomorrow night. Just click on that and just drop some like on it, people. To help for just get it out in the algorithm. About 5 million streams are going tomorrow night, which is right because we have a whole heap of support on the YouTube for the Jamaica team. But yeah, just for get me out there in the space of all the traffic. Yeah, man, just drop some like on that video there. Try to get me to the 30, 40, 50 yard before even the game. And that will help a lot when we go live tomorrow. Yeah, man, make them know if you go like the damn stream, man. And like that one here too. But people, I'm not holding up no more. A good 2 hours and 2 hours and 17 minutes worth of content. I never jumped into the keys to the victory tonight, only because I thought about it and I said I'm gonna forward onto the stream tomorrow about 8 o'clock. Once we forward on, we usually get the lineup soon thereafter. But the first thing we're gonna do tomorrow, when we get the lineups and we start talk, I'm gonna tell you guys my keys to victory for Jamaica. Okay. So I will adjust the edit the title and take that out so people know that I never discussed that. But yeah, we got through everything else. We got through the preview show. We had the CONCACAF Nations League. I'm going to add the press conference because we did talk about that today and we did the predicted lineups as well. All right. And we also took a look at the scenarios for the groups, how it's looking as far as winning. We'll revisit that tomorrow before the game starts as well. And of course, we know we have to look at League A, Group A, which will be 2 days from today. And that's where we'll find out the fate of us overall, because we have to finish the rankings and then rank against the other teams in the other group as well to see who we play in the quarterfinals. All right. So big up to each and everyone that dropped in tonight. At one point, we had about 60 70 people in here, which is awesome because I know the big bad show is going on over one side there where, everybody always is in that building. So you don't know. Man's had to stream at some point. So no disrespect, but hey, we just have to stream and we have to stream. But the thing that I like about my content and my fan base and my viewers, even if them don't catch the live stream, them go back and them watch my show because they know they're going to get something out of the show. Some information, some new way to look at things, something different. They're going to see something that they're going to learn, and that's why you keep coming back. So I appreciate all the support, people. And that's why I keep forwarding. I enjoy doing it, and I see that people are enjoying it as well. So big up to all the massive that always showing the love and support. Too many to name, all 1,300 and other of you that subscribe. We're really, really grateful for that. And we're going to keep on growing the channel. And as we grow, you'll see Jason Gooner TV grow. And you see all the fancy things get even fancier. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Once again, it was my pleasure to bring you this content this evening. And until tomorrow, when we forward for the live watch along, I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And you guys have a blessed night. Big up on yourself. Jamaica.